it's Micah here. This isn't going to be a workout we're going to film. I'm actually going to film a little bit about our feet today and how our feet should function. During this time of quarantine, we actually might find ourselves being a little bit barefoot, more so than normal, so we can kind of apply and start fixing things while we're being barefoot and see how our foot should properly work. So we should be barefoot, right? I forgot to change. Hold on. Oh, that's better. Alright, so now that we're barefoot, we got our workout clothes on. I've always wanted to do that, I'm sorry. I'm going to change the camera up so you can see my feet better. Make sure you take socks and shoes off. We're going to be barefoot for this little exercise and tutorial, and hope you learn something from it. Alright, so we've got the down low view. It might be kind of weird, but like I said, we're focusing on our feet today, so the camera's going to be at that angle. So what you're going to do, hopefully you can hear me alright, you're just going to stand up and just stand normal. And just whatever normalized for you, okay? So now we're just gonna go over our foot function. Our foot should serve as a tripod. So the bone below our big toe, right here, the ball in the foot, right below our pinky toe, that little ball right there, and our heel should serve as a tripod. So just 101, when we stand up, we wanna have the weight equally distributed through those feet, right? So sometimes what we'll see is people always say they have flat feet. Yeah, while flat feet can be hereditary or something you have, all of us can do a little bit to make sure that we have a little bit of an arch in our foot. All right, so a lot of times when people have flat feet, a lot of times what's actually happening is their feet are just collapsing. So what we're going to do right now is just organize your feet so that they're nice and proper, right? So we want to drive that big toe into the ground, find equal weight throughout the three areas, so your foot's kind of in a tripod, and I want you to create an arch in your foot. Right, and then organize your ankles so they're not collapsed in, but stack your ankles over the top of your feet so everything's nice and controlled. This is just the basic function of how our feet should look. That little tripod going on and have weight equally distributed. So then you can just do a cool experiment with this right now. So go shake those feet out, right? Plant them, find them in again too. And I want you to collapse your feet in, right? Have those feet collapse in. So get rid of your arch, and now try to squeeze your butt. Right? Try to squeeze your glutes as hard as you can. You might have been able to do it, but you might find some challenge. Now what I want you to do is have those feet still equally distributed the weight. Now act like your feet, you're going to try to screw your feet into the ground. So screw your feet into the ground, and then now try to squeeze your butt. I bet you can create so much more torque now with those glutes and those legs. That's why we give that cue when we go to squat to drive your knees out. You're trying to screw into the ground, drive your knees out, which is creating torque all the way up to your glutes, and then when you drop into that squat, now we're using our glutes for our squat rather than driving our knees forward and getting rid of all our power production. So one more time, right when we stand up, we can do it we'll do it from this view, right when it's have equally weight, just as if your foot's a tripod, and we should be conscious about this when we do all our movements. Lunging, we're about to see when we step up, we find our feet, right? They should be the insides of our feet on the outsides of our shoulders. Just for a frame of reference, we're going to stand there, you're going to screw those feet in, feel those glutes turn on, and then we're going to squat down. And that's what's going to fire up our glute. Now we can take this same concept when you're in the gym, and we go back to the gym, and you're doing step-ups. When you step up to that platform, right, and all of a sudden you just try to go up, a lot of times what we're doing is we're stepping up, and our heel's not even on the ground by the time we step up, or we're stepping up and then we're just all imbalanced, so we're not doing it. So what I want you to do is when you step up, let's be functional in our movements. Step up to that platform, find that stable foot where the weight's equally distributed, and then we're going to stand up through that platform, and then when we come back down. And it's a small little concept that if you think about it, it goes a long way. So now while we're being at home and quarantined and staying home a little bit more so, you might find yourself being barefoot than normal, which is awesome. It's really important to spend a little bit of time barefoot to build up all those muscles and not depend on shoes to keep you arched or supported. So now, once again, people do have flat feet relatively, but we can all work on our posture of our feet to make it so we have that little arch in there so they serve the purpose of their springs in there too. It's the same concept. Maybe we're doing an RDL, right? When we're on that foot, all of a sudden we might be all stable when we're trying to balance. But if you first find that foot, find a good stable where the pressure is equally distributed. Now when you go into that RDL movement, or maybe when you step back into that lunge or step forward into that lunge, Same thing, right? If you're trying to do a forward lunge, when you land, don't have that foot be all squirrely, but when you step, find that equal distribution through that tripod of that foot, then we'll drop down, and then we can push through. It's a really simple, basic concept that we can now practice if we're being barefoot a little bit more. I hope this helped a little bit, and I want to explain one more thing too. So when I was talking about the torque that's created, so if you find yourself, maybe when you go to the beach and you sit down, right, and our feet naturally want to do this when we sit down at the beach. If you lay down, your feet really want to turn out even more so, right? And that's because when our legs are kind of created like a spiral going up for loading tension. And our femur actually rotates into our hips. And that's why our legs want to turn out, because that's just naturally how our legs move. So if you think about that coil of power that our legs can produce, when we're up on our feet, right, as soon as we start screwing into the ground, we start coiling all this power that goes up to our glutes, which is our powerhouse, and now we can be so much stronger throughout our squat, rather than if we have real sloppy feet, we collapse them inwards, and then we go for the squat, we lose all our power. A little thing to remember too is we want to try to have the middle of our knee right over the big of our toe. So that's why I always give that cue, drive your knees out, so that's sitting there so you can sit comfortably into this squat. I do have to give some credit. One of my favorite fitness professionals is Kelly Starrett, and I did take a lot of these concepts from a video he just did, but he's brilliant. I always think you should mimic the people that you look up to and respect, and for some reason, if he was to watch this video, I'd be super flattered. But yeah, he's brilliant, and a lot of the concepts I follow true to my heart and just do through my daily fitness journey. A lot comes from him. If you don't know who he is, he has the Ready State on YouTube, and it is just a phenomenal, mind-blowing concept. So please go check that out. He is awesome. And go think about your feet more when you work out. And let's not have sloppy feet, and don't collapse them, right? You can even see from the back of our feet, if we have that foot collapse, right, that Achilles tendon should be straight up and down when we go for those squats. Now, it doesn't mean to over-exaggerate it, because we start rolling up on our feet, now we're going to put too much shearing tension on the outside of our feet. So, just to recap, find equal pressure through those feet. We want to put from the ball of the foot here, the outside ball, and our heel. That's our little tripod, then that creates the arch in our foot, and that arch serves a lot of function with spreading out the load of our weight. So here's just a quick little tutorial video. I hope you think about this and put it into action. This is why we don't want to wear shoes that help us get our arch in our foot necessarily. Don't take that for granted. But we want to be able to wear shoes. When we step into our shoes, we can find that support and manually do it ourselves, rather than have our foot compensate for our shoe compensate for our mistakes. All right, everybody, that's my little piece of information for the day. I really want to start doing more of these videos. So if you have any advice or things you want to see, comment below, and I hope we can get to them. All right, have a great, blessed day. Thanks for watching.